Welcome to NetDispatcher Academy. Today we're going to take a look at invoicing and how to change the invoice templates and the details that are being transferred over from NetDispatcher work orders to an invoice and how to edit the look and feel of the actual invoices. Let's take a look at an example work order in our system. This would be a typical information that goes to a work order. You have the general information, the product materials section, and the job itself. In our system, you have the option of designing what gets pulled over from this work order to an invoice, and then separately to design the actual layout of the invoice. I'm going to create this as an invoice so we can take a look at some of the details that gets transferred over. You'll notice that when you generate the invoice has a order level, basically the very highest level, and that gets transferred over to a line item on an invoice. You have the job itself, in this case a lawn care, and some of the details for that particular line item from that particular line item, and any products associated to these jobs. You can edit the content that goes into either the product or the description fields. To do that, you're going to go into settings, you're going to select invoice templates and either add a new one or edit the default invoice template. And you notice the same level of details in here: the order level, the product and materials level, and then the jobs levels. You can go in and make changes, typing in and or edit the level of details from the left by using these macros. So if I wanted to add the high level information box to an order field, I'd click to the left. Do not drag and drop, just click on here and it adds any of the details in here. Same goes for products and job types. Jobs themselves. If you wanted to add any of the additional fields, just take a look at the left side of the screen and then add any of the items. Let's say in this case I want to add if they had any issues. You save it, you go into a work order. I want to recreate the same work order. I want to generate it. You need to generate it in order to generate these new changes you made to that template. You'll notice that these changes are being transferred over to the order level, to the product, and to the job. Seems like this one didn't have any issues. Now, when I print this document, the actual invoice as a PDF, it pulls up my default template I'm using. And you'll notice that these description fields and everything, all the changes I made to these items got pulled over to this invoice in here. And to edit this invoice template, you can go into look and feel of the template, you can go into reporting. And when you look at the invoicing section, you're going to have different templates for invoicing, and you can set up additional too. This report defines how the look and feel of the actual PDF report is being generated. So in this case, you can start making changes, logos, and generate the actual look and feel of the invoice when you print it out. To select the default template that gets printed out from the system, make sure you select this from the high level, not selecting any of the boxes, and change it to the default invoice template. And every time you hit preview or print, this is the invoice template that gets printed out, including the mobile, if you want to print this to the mobile. You can generate multiple invoice templates. You could copy this one and create multiple different types of invoice templates to be printed out from the system, but you can only have one default invoice template. To print multiple invoice look and feel through the system, you can go into any of the invoices and use this print functionality to print different types of invoices if you have multiple in here, and or change the actual default template from the system. If I had multiple, I could select a different template and print this invoice out from the system. Alright, That concludes the introduction to changing invoice templates and the look and feel of the actual invoice. Enjoy the rest of the day.